Yes, boys, YouTube gang, how's it going? I've been regularly uploading recently. Last couple of weeks, I've literally just been, I think, where I've been learning this new stuff myself personally. It's brought me away from coming up with ideas to put up on YouTube, but I will upload some videos this week. People keep messaging me in regards to the video I said I was going to do about the quarterly theory. I think I've done some breakdown videos in the groups to explain that until such time as I feel like I have got my head around it properly, then I'm not really the best person to speak on the quarterly theory strategy because I'm implementing it into mine. I'm getting the basics and I'm getting the gist of it, but I'm nowhere near at a point where I can tell you, right, this is that, blah, blah, blah. So until such time as I get, to that kind of level, there are videos already out there that you can have a look at. Even the person that came up with it, Day, I think it's spelled D-A-Y-E. His video's there. The only video that he's ever uploaded on his YouTube, that there. I will say that a lot of the guys that teach about it, I wouldn't say teach it in a dumbed down way because it is quite technical. But they also say that this isn't something that you can just use solely on its own. You need to have, other bits and pieces, your own strategy there, and have a basis to work off. Then implement this. So that's what I've been saying to a lot of people that want to kind of try and jump into it right away. I'm like, look, bro. Have a look at other videos, have a look at ICT or SMC or my stuff, whatever it might be. Get an understanding, get a base ground, get the foundations under lock, then implement this down the line when you understand how to actually trade. But yeah, I've been finding it very, very good. And the reason why I say this is because it is teaching me to be so patient and literally, where I used to be a bit more swing and intraday, I didn't really used to care about where my entries were. I would just throw an entry in to my point of interest of an area where I would like to take a trade from. And then I'd have a very big stop loss because I can afford to have quite a big stop loss, but a very long take profit. So it's actually teaching me to zone into the lower time frames and actually look at points of interest on the lower time frames and take entries off of certain things, certain times of the day, not to be caught in the accumulation phase or whatever, or the trading in the distribution and the manipulation phase is the best outcome. And also where I was predominantly just a pre-London session trader, sometimes the setups that I'm looking at on the pairs, they don't actually trigger until the afternoon, which is like New York session. So I have to actually wait, sit on my hands through the London session if it's not anywhere near my point of entry. And you start to see how price actually does pull all the way back there on the smaller time frames. But on the higher time frames, it's a massive wick and all this sort of stuff. But I'll show you some examples. But again, I've only taken a few setups this week. I'd say, I think I took about 7 or 8 setups, which isn't massive considering compared to where I used to, how many I used to send out. So I'm just uploading the thing now. But yeah, and it's also, I've very, very rarely taken any positions on gold. I think I'm actually pulling away from trading gold and looking at other commodities. I've been trading oil an awful lot because I feel like oil is A, less volatile, and B, a lot more clearer, and you get a lot more clarity from the charts. Whereas gold, yes, it can throw you some sort of indications of where it's going to bounce off, but it's one of them. I feel like I can have smaller stop losses on oil than I can on gold because gold is a lot harder to kind of dictate where price might pull back to or where price might shoot to. And, especially seeing all these videos that are now popping off about other people's groups and this, that, and the other. And, they all trade gold. Gold is like the number one traded thing in Telegram groups, and I just kind of want to be different I want to throw something new into the mix where people haven't really traded oil before, and oil can be just as rewarding as what gold is, but less volatile. So oil has been one of the main things that I've traded. I did have a setup on gold. I think it was on Thursday. Sadly, we took a loss on that. But I'll go over what I was looking at, and it did one of those things. It actually triggered and then straight through my stop loss due to news. But you know, it's one of them. I actually didn't realise that there was news out that day, and I didn't think that even if it was out, that it would be, you know, enough to push it to where it went. But yeah, so we'll jump over to the charts and we'll have a look at the setups that I've taken. Right, so this was oil. Before that, I did actually have a oil trade that hit for 180 pips. I think I put that up on my Instagram, but yeah, I had 2 GBP USD trades. Now, GBP USD, it's one of those. I think it was these setups up here that I kept getting tapped out at break even, because it was just bouncing around this imbalance area for a good period of time, you know, all through Tuesday, and then pretty much it dropped sort of Tuesday evening. Wednesday was where it actually, you know, finished the setup out, but we were already out of this. So sadly, it's one of them. Keeping the stop loss tight. Entry level just seemed to be the zone of where it wanted to keep bouncing off of. But look, I say this time and time again in my videos, regardless if you get tapped out at entry, and you know your analysis still hits, it's still a W. Yes, you haven't made money off of it, but it's shown that you are understanding where price is going to. Now, you know, 26,300 was the overall take profit. I can probably show you this in the group if I scroll up. GBP USD sell 26,930, take profit 26,300, stop loss 27,030. So that is this setup here. You can see stop loss 27,030, entry and take profit. And that, yeah, this was on Tuesday. It probably says something different on, yeah, it was Monday evening, Tuesday. But this is where it ended up going. And then I had a buy set up from around this 26,300 level. Yes, it would have hit 26,800, but I was actually, my target level was for this buy side and the imbalance up here. But look, so going through this setup, because I'm not explaining it properly. So we had all this sell side liquidity here, equal lows being formed through this consolidation phase, okay? We had this imbalance here. This was, you know, my kind of area point of interest. Obviously, we have buy side above, which I had to take into account that we had this here and this here. So we could have swiped this, then dropped. But look, it kept on just bouncing around. It did sweep this sell side. That was kind of a good indication that, okay, we will probably push lower because this will just be manipulation, making buyers think, right, it's going to go long, which it didn't. It just basically came back to this zone, and then very slowly on Wednesday, sort of London session, just sold off. Swept this sell side here, swept these equal lows here, swept this sell side again here, and tapped into the T this imbalance over here. But, you know, again, that wouldn't have been your entry, because I would have said this would have been a better entry. Obviously, you would have had this like zoned out from the left, but realistically, this would have been your entry. You would have waited for the breaker structure, breaking these highs here to the upside, then marked out the imbalance, and then you could have taken this entry. Yeah, okay, it wouldn't have been amazing. Still would have been a decent, like, even just from this to that high there. 39 pips. Decent amount. But yeah, it was just... Overall, on the higher time frames, if you look at GU and EU, we're still in this kind of messy consolidation phase. I sent out a thesis on Friday before PMI about this type setup. Is it going to play out? Potentially, maybe. We've got a bit of a breaker block here, and we are in the imbalance as well. So I was looking for a sell-off. I was looking for news to obviously push to the upside and then sell off. But yeah, it's not really, I won't know if this plays out until Monday anyway, but it's something that I could potentially enter if price moves the way I want it to move on Monday. In regards to gold, look, no setups apart from one, which was, I can't even remember now. But look, this is the group. These are guys that are charting up their own stuff, taking their own setups. Look, this guy taking a position on gold, off of the news yesterday. Very, very good setup. I'd already said it in the videos that I thought that gold was going to be pushing higher anyway. But my point of entry or point of interest was around 2043, which it didn't actually end up hitting. I think it hit about 2046 and then shot up. But again, you would have been able to get an entry on it. I just wasn't trading that day. Gold sell here, 29.50 to 2031. So about a 25 pip range. Quite a tight stop loss. I did move it a little bit just because my other trader as well put in a sell at the same time, so just after mine. This was the area. Imbalances here, and this was prior to news. We had, look, this is where I say gold is very, 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 very good at faking. We had this, look, inverted cross, inverted hammer, whatever you want to call it. That was my indication, right? Okay, we filled this imbalance here. We've actually kind of tapped into these this order block, and we're gonna, drop to the downside, potentially target these imbalances here. But the next candle just came out and just wiped us out. So it's one of those, you can't always get it right. I am still learning about the whole imbalance fills and this, that, and the other. So I'd seen this 15-minute candle closure, thought, yeah, that's showing that this imbalance has been filled, and then boom, gold just shot straight through. So after that setup kind of failing, I just went, you know what, gold is not the one for me this week. I'm not even going to bother. Oil was being a lot, I say a lot better on delivery type purposes, but this was the setup that we caught to the upsides, this one, and then I also caught this one here as well. I've taken the setups off, and then this one we got into again, we broke structure to the upside here, imbalance, and off of this candle closure here, this is where we entered, but we darted about. We hit take profit 1, so we were able to bring stops to entry. But then again, look, it just far-arsed around. So it wasn't an amazing setup, but again, if I'd been looking at Friday and actually trading Friday, then look, we had this small imbalance here, which price actually tapped into and then shot to the take profit levels, filled this imbalance. I'm actually looking for another entry buy side, potentially on oil, because I feel like it's still got some more upside. Entry wise, it's got to be around this imbalance, this 4-hour imbalance here, or this could be just where we filled the imbalance on the, I think it was the daily actually, the daily imbalance around this area. Daily imbalance here that's been filled from this candle closure. So yeah, I'm looking for sales into buys for sure, but the 4-hour imbalance will be the one that I'll be looking at to another leg to the upside. So not really looking at golds. GA, we caught two good setups on GA. This one, it's one of them. GA, we literally missed by... I was waiting for this sell side liquidity to be swept here and then jump in. So I was about 5 or 6 pips from it triggering my limit order. And that was my take profit level just to fill this imbalance here. Didn't get it, but you know, even off of the imbalance would have been a good entry. And again, this on Friday, another imbalance filled, plummeted back down, took this sell side, took this sell side. So GA's been playing out quite well. GBP JPY, this was another setup. Ooh. This was another setup. Was looking for a retracement back into the higher end here, but it never actually got it off of there. Closed, I think, 50% or whatever off before it came back and tapped break even. And then that is where it kind of filled the imbalance, but it was just, it's not very nice price action. This GBP JPY, even though I said a couple of weeks ago that I was going to stay away from JPY pairs, I'm just liking testing this out, this strategy out, testing out if it works, how it works on different currency pairs. But to be honest, the main things that I've been traded have been GBP USD, GA, and oil. And so far, so good on the oil side. Do you know what? I feel like this week, I'm not in the headspace when it comes to videos and doing breakdowns. I feel like I'm very, very off at the moment. I still believe. I've got a feeling yields is going to push back in down to here, down to the 3.9%. I feel like gold is potentially, yes, okay, we'll get a retracement back down. I feel like gold's still going to push up. There's no indications right now for sells, unless, you know, the weekly, look, we broke above quite a number of support areas. You know, we took this weekly, we didn't manage to take, or we created a double top on this weekly here. So I definitely think that, you know, we will test again. Let me just see, yeah. Oh, I mean, we were like a couple of pips away. So weekly high in December 28th. Very, very close to taking that. But again, we've got to kind of find our support first, find the floor, and then join in to the upside. That's my personal opinion. I don't feel like gold is just going to plummet from here until such time as I see some sort of weekly, daily type reversal pattern. Would I be looking to go short? So I'd just be looking for longs to continue. You know, maybe it's got, maybe its target is all-time highs again. Maybe that's what it's looking to do. So yeah, but like I said, for me, oil's just been a lot nicer to trade. It just seems to respect things, imbalances, lows, liquidity areas, a lot nicer than gold. So that's why I've been focusing more on oil and trading oil just as much. Because even looking at the setups on oil, 76.172 to 75.900 stop loss, that is 27 pips. It's 27 pip stop loss. So, do you know what I mean? So it's just nicer to be able to have tighter stop losses. Whereas with gold, we all know, well, I know firsthand that gold can, you can have a nice tight stop loss and boom, price will just wick that out and then drop. Happens an awful lot. 78, 178, 77, 900. Again, another 27 pip stop loss. Buy limit, again, 17 pip stop loss. So I'm getting a lot better with my R2Rs, which is, you know, down to this theory. One loss. A lot of break evens, but that was GBP USD. Caught in that consolidation. GBP USD 10 pips. I think that was just a manual close. That was the buy setup. Gold, yeah, 25 pips. But oil, 44. Oil, 37. Oil, 180. GA was a good 90 pips as well. And GBP JPY, that will just be 40 because it closed out break even anyway. So that was a good run for me. Ace, only 40 pips, but he was quite unlucky with a couple of stop losses this week. Connor did well, 120 pips for Connor. And Brandon was 90 pips. But we had a very, very hectic news week. And I said that at the beginning of the week on the videos. Said that, you know, this is the stuff that I just do day to day. I'll always do a video to update, you know, what I'm looking at for the market and this, that, and the other. So everyone's still aware and everyone's still learning at the same time, seeing what I'm seeing in the markets before taking an actual setup. But in regards to outlooks, look, GBP USD still heavily consolidated. I mean, we haven't had any of this type stuff happen. But nonetheless, I'm pretty sure we've got NFP this week. So this Friday. Let's go to Friday. Friday, non-farm payroll. So again, first week into the month, always a busy week news-wise. USD news. Look, Fed Powell testimony. Boys, it's never a nice one, literally, when you look at the first week of the month, you just know it's going to be a tough week. So outlook-wise, shorts into longs, that seems to be what I can see at the moment. But then again, NFP, depends on how NFP comes out. If NFP comes out positive, then yeah, gold shorts. And USD pair shorts. Could GU potentially have another push back into here and then roll off? Maybe. That might be on the cards. I still think there's downside, but we know there's a lot of liquidity resting above all of this consolidation. We also do have further imbalances to be filled on GBP USD. So it's going to be one of them. Indications will be on Friday, I think, for a better kind of forecast of where we're going. Let news play out this week, and then we'll have a clearer understanding on where price is going. So I'm not going to give a massive outlook on, you know, the foreseeable type setups, but I will be just dipping into there, in and out of the market, getting, you know, quick 30-40 pip moves and jumping out. That's what the plan will be. And again, oil will be my baby that I will be trading for sure. So gold, not so much, but the other traders in the group trade gold. So I kind of just like to be a little bit different in my personal opinion is being a bit different, trading something that not everybody else trades, can normally be a breath of fresh air. That's why I do it. So that's pretty much it, guys, the chart stuff. But I'm going to jump over and just chat to you about what else has been going on this week, because I think it's quite funny. So what else has gone on this week? I feel like it's been a relatively stressful week for me personally. And do you know what? I've spoken about this in videos before. I think I did it in the Telegram pros and cons. I don't know why I always get an itchy nose when I do these videos. Fucking winds me up. So I'm not gonna name names. I don't need to name names because people already know who they are. I'm not gonna belittle people either in regards to calling them names. It's already been done this week in the group, whatever. But it's come to my attention that this past week, it's probably been going on a lot longer. All of a sudden, people that have been in my group for about you know, either a month, 2 months. The group has only been going about 3 months in total. So even if you take it to the start of when I made this group, all of a sudden, there is people in my group that feel like they have got the experience to be running their own paid groups. Okay? And it's one of those things. I foresaw it happening. I think I said about it in the groups. I've said about it on videos that people feel like they can jump into this after a month, 2 months, and all of a sudden become amazing profitable traders. Now, I've used myself as an example when I first started out and I was trading a demo account. I didn't really have that much live money to start off with, so it was predominantly trading demo stuff. I was doing the same kind of strategy as these guys are doing. And all it is very, very small movements on gold. Okay? Buying, selling gold, no stop loss, no take profit, really, because you're literally waiting until it goes blue, you know, waiting until you're in some profit and then closing. And there's no real basis behind your setups, your strategies, because at the end of the day, if you had an idea of where gold was going and you had your rules, your stop loss, your take profit, you would be holding for those take profit and stop loss. But what happens is, you know, you get into this momentum of, you know, being very consistent, jumping in and out of gold. And, you know, you will remove your stop loss or not have a stop loss, so you'll deal with a load of drawdown. Then you might throw in a couple more buys or sells that counteract this one or whatever it might be. And you get into this rhythm of thinking you've all of a sudden mastered the markets. The other thing is recycling content. My content is being recycled. I only found that out yesterday. There is a guy in my group who, you know, actually came to me and was like, bro, I want to set up my own group, this, that, and the other. It'd be cool if, you know, you could help me, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. You know, yes, you can use my stuff, or yes, I can help you out, post some stuff in there, whatever it might be. But, you know, if it's just you learning, you know, you need to be aware that you're not really in the space to be able to give people setups. That's just my opinion. And I think a lot of people would agree with me. But I got blocked. I then found out he was actually just posting all of my traders and my trades in his group. Probably my chart work as well. Portraying to be a trader, and he is realistically not. Another two guys as well did the same thing, but they were recycling content from somebody else's group, another paid group out there, and just basically posting the setups in their paid group, their paid community. And look, right, I get we live in a day and age now where trying to make as much money as possible is the kind of the mindset. But there's a legitimate way of making money, and there's just a scummy way of making money. And I feel like if you've got a moral compass that is very small, that means that you can just essentially steal other people's stuff and sell it, then, you know, it's kind of like, it's almost like a charity shop. Do you know what I mean? Whereas the people that are signing up for your service don't actually know that they're just getting recycled content. They don't actually know that you have zero idea when it comes to looking at the markets. Okay, you might have some idea because you've been in the group or you've watched videos or whatever, but given the fact that I didn't even have my own group until I think it was the end of 2022. So the end of 2022, I had my own group, but I'd been trading for 4 years before that. 3-4 years before that. So I'd already got myself into a consistent space, you know, being able to call setups that would run for 40, 50 pips and close and people be able to close at the same time as well. Because the problem that these guys have got, where they've built up this mindset of them, oh, I'm so consistent because I'm closing with 10, 20 pips profit, that means that everybody else that's in your group has pretty much got to be rectifying what you do to a T, closing when you close, entering when you enter. Unless you are just randomly throwing out buy and sell calls like buy gold now, close gold now, buy gold now, close gold now, that it's never going to work. And this is where and then again, there's people that are joining these groups that don't have a clue of chart work and this, that and the other, so you can get away with it. But look, long story short, I don't rate these guys. I have spoken to these guys. I have tried to, obviously at the end of the day, I give people the benefit of the doubt. Everybody is in their own situation, financially or mentally or whatever it might be. But I think this is where we live in a generation now where no one feels like they can just come to someone and talk. And I've said this time and time again in the group. Look, if you are looking to do any outside business that predominantly might involve clientele of mine or, stuff that is mine, just come to me first hand. Just approach me and be like, bro, I've got an idea. This is what I want to do. Or I've got an idea. What do you think of this? Is this something that I could offer to the guys in your group or whatever it might be? And I'll work with you. Do you know what I mean? Because this is why we get into these types of things. And, online money is to help each other. At the end of the day, if we can't help each other, then, doing this solo is just, I don't know. I don't see the point in it. Everybody should be on this journey together, helping each other, reinforcing, the mentality and stuff. If someone's having a bad day trading, everybody just brings each other back up, all this sort of stuff. I feel like a community environment works a lot better than people just buggering off and doing their own thing. So yeah, that's been the kind of the forefront of conversation in the group, is just finding out about these guys that are doing their own thing after a month of trading and stuff like that. And it's disheartening. For me, it's disheartening because I feel like I give everybody a chance when they first join the group and try to implement all of the stuff that, is the foundations, risk management. Risk management being the fucking top conversation pretty much in the group every single week. What lot size should I be using on this? There's this lovely education section right here. I'm pretty sure that this video that has no picture, because YouTube decided that they didn't want to put a picture in it, that's MT4 for dummies. So when people ask in the group about, what lot size should I be using, just go watch this video. You'll understand everything. How do I place a buy limit? How do I, what's oil on this broker, on that broker? Look, I show it in this video. All you gotta do is tap on commodities and you'll find it will be either WTI or oil, US oil, blah, blah, blah. It's one of those things. I don't think any of these groups that have all of a sudden just popped up are doing this type of stuff. I've been compared to McGarry and Gunter this week. I honestly don't see the comparison. Like, for anybody that's new watching my videos that might be in their group, is their group structured like this? Are there constant breakdowns? Is there the ability for you as a learning trader to throw your chart work out, show what type of things you're in, what setups you're looking at? Ask people for advice. Guys are in here with sports betting, general chat, OFM, all this type of stuff. And, even my social media. Look, this is my social media. Does my social media look like any one of these people that I'm compared to? No, there's literally 2 pictures of me and my fiance. That's it. Other than that, it's all chart work. All chart work. I don't see this on anybody else's social media. I don't think I see this on any new person's social media, because you got to remember, People are all about likes and attention. Look at the comparison. 4,400 likes, 150 comments. 79 likes. 1,881 likes, 36 comments. 67 likes. 79 likes. 121, 111, 128. This type of stuff doesn't get anywhere near the amount of attention that these pictures get. Because no one's interested in this. Realistically, people can't understand what this is. Where's the comments, actually? I think it was on this one. Oh, no, I'm not going to be able to see it. But anyway, there was 3 people on there saying, oh, you're all the same. Are we? I don't see us being the same. Lewis McGarry doesn't have chart work on his Instagram because he openly says that he's not a trader. So why does he have to have chart work on there? Okay, so I understand that, completely respect that. He's already openly admitted that he's not a trader, so chart work on his profile don't make no sense. Gunter, I don't know him. All I know is from the videos that I've seen on TikTok of people reviewing his group. He implies that he is a trader. So with that being said, I would have expected to see some analysis, some chart work, maybe some breakdown content. Because when you make the statement that you are a trader, you've also got to be able to back it up with knowledge, with chart work, with good risk management, with teaching people good risk management, making people understand how to risk manage properly, and enforcing it all the fucking time, because people do relapse. You know, it's one of those. I don't understand why I get compared to the others, honestly, because if I was, then my profile would pretty much look. If I was all about likes and attention, then I'd just be posting more pictures like this, you know, of me, blah 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 blah. Like I said, I did that for about a week and realised that I absolutely fucking hate it. Do comparisons. Do you know what I mean? My group is not like anybody else's group. My Instagrams and my socials are not like anybody else's. I'm very, very individual when it comes to the shit that I post. You know, I've got setups that I could still post because I keep them all in here. These are all my chart works from when I send them out. That was US oil. GBP AUD, that was, you know, the setup from the moment we took it and the moment it was sent out. You know, it's one of them. Look, those 2 setups, I can't show them. I'll always send out, look, GBP AUD buy, 1.93568. Stop loss, 193.275. It's not a big stop loss. I think it was a 28 pip stop loss. 193.559. And that's, the TP was 194.86. And, you know, I don't understand how I can be as transparent as I am. There you go, 194.839. There we go. 198.51. So that was the overall take profit would have been hits, which was 198.46. So there, it's sat up at 195.030. So it's one of those. Like, those are the types of things that I do. Those are the types of setups that I call out. You know, and this was holding over Aussie CPI as well, which actually came out good for us. You know, we had it first time round, look, buy stop, stops to entry, because it just didn't give me the momentum to the upside that I wanted. So we waited for another entry, re-entered the exact same position. We did move stops to entry after it pushed up a good, I think it was about 40-50 pips, and we continued to hold. We scaled off 50%, rest the run, and yeah, it just continued. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much it for the video. I've waffled on for a good 49-50 minutes, but yeah, I will come out with some more video ideas this week and post them up. Again, if you've got any sort of things that you want talking about, drop them in the comments below and I'll do some videos on that. I do need your guys' help when it comes to certain types of things that maybe you don't understand, and I'll do a video on that. And yeah, I will speak to you in the next one.